I've been looking at AI. It is just blowing my mind with what it can be done. Dr. Count and I had already had a meeting put together that I wanted to kind of just sit and chat and see. The emphasis of this is how can we put private sector companies inside the De La Howe School so that it gives you guys opportunities to do research, do internships, dual enrollment, whatever, just give you those opportunities to match up with some private companies that are startups or whatnot. And so here we are. What I want to see come out of this is just that. Where the two companies come together. What I have learned in my very short time at looking at AI is I have no idea what I don't know. And so it is so vast that I want you guys to talk about what you're doing, what you would like to, how you would like a partnership with the school, and what can these students get out of that? Because that's why we're here. We're here for them. Today we're here for the students. So what can we do to help these students in another path that can help them?
So went from Silicon Valley to the beef industry in about 6 months. 4 years ago, I helped form a company, start a company, Marble, that is all focused around AI and robotics around the beef world. So everything I'm about to show to you is a little bit of what that looks like, both from being at the bleeding edge of this, seeing what this AI can do, what it can't do, and also so you can kind of see a little bit of all the different people that's involved at Marble. So we have meat scientists that are on staff, we've got technicians, programmers, the entire spectrum, and it takes a huge variety of people and skills. This is kind of how that story began that's in my dining room down in Edgefield. First prototype was done in there. My wife was very happy when it got moved out. And everything we have to build too, it's on the beef world, it all has to be food grade, it all has to be cleanable, it all has to be able to survive the ruggedness. So cuts of meat are coming in, they're all being scanned, the AI is starting to look at that, identify it, and then we can also start doing things like we can look at break angles and the thickness of things, how many steaks you can get out of that.
You mentioned there's really small margins in agriculture, especially for beef facilities, but there's a lot of input that goes into AI, such as like the servers and the code and hiring the meat scientists. Does the cost really like offset?
So sorry, I said, I misspoke. Small margins for error, I should say. So in other words, if it's down for an hour, that could literally be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So that means that it has to work day in, day out. They cannot say, well, it works half the time. 99% of the time is also not really acceptable.
So in the end, the customer receives the value through a lower price, hopefully, because there's less inputs through employees?
Yeah, it's both by labor, but also by throughput. So like for instance, a lot of times you want to say, I want to sell ribeyes or tenderloins, and they do a weight break on it. And they say, well, I'm going to sell my 7-pound ones for 10 cents more than my 5-pound ones. And the marketing people like to do that because they can get more margin. The problem is that someone has to take every one of those tenderloins, stick it on a scale, look at it, and make a choice. It takes time. And the problem is most of these beef plants, they're running 15-20% understaffed. So it means that they can't take advantage of the value of the meat because they simply don't have the labor, and they can't do it consistently because they can't sell product and say, well, today I had enough people to do that. Today, nope, 5 people didn't show up, sorry. I just got to get meat in the box. By bringing this type of AI automation, it allows you to have consistent results so you can consistently get the margins and be able to find the value, and you don't lose all that value in an extremely expensive product, which is beef.
So what's cool about this is this sensor uses an organic ink that the microbes they eat, and then we measure that resistance over time. And so it's a PHBB polymer that uses carbon flakes, and it's made in a lab. uses chloroform as like the binder. And so once that ink is on the sensor, it goes in the ground, the microbes, they start eating the ink, and then it basically swells and you measure that resistance. So does anybody know why microbial activity is important?
You want to have microbes.
Right, you want to have, right. So microbial activity helps with soil structure, it helps with nutrient cycling. In general, the more microbial activity, the better. Making a sensor that has the microbial activity sensor over here, but it also has temperature here, it has a capacitative moisture sensor here, and then inside here we have a CO2 sensor as well. And so we built this node, and the node communicates wirelessly with a hub, and the hub communicates to the cloud and sends our data to a dashboard.